What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is the next installment in Are They Still Good? I have dogged on this Liv Morgan for years now. I told people when she came out, Zombie Becky is better. 100%. Don't go for Zombie Liv. And some people listened, some didn't. I think I've been proven right over history's course of events, but there's new things in the game. There are so many new plates in the last year. Like, I don't think people realize the last year's worth of plates are as game-changing as anything else that's ever been in this game. Think about it. All of the Yeet-styled plates, including the Yeet, that buff your gym damage 500%. The multicolored Piper plates that we're starting to get, the Royal Rumble plates. Like, we used to run the Sheriff's Badge because it was the best possible plate for throwing out gems. It was break red, get yellow gems, and you'd get 30. Or 20, sorry. This is now a very different era of the game with the plates that we have in here. So do these make Zombie Liv good? Well, that's what we're going to see. So this is not how I run her. She is blank slate right now for some reason, but it's basically red, yellow, yellow, or triple yellow is how I've run her in the past. But I want to look at all of her moves real quick and see, just in case with new plates, new setups, we're missing something. So we've got the Ride into Oblivion, the Chicken Jockey, finisher, 10 MP red, deal damage plus bonus damage for every botch gem. Oh yeah, Botch Man. Let's see if that comes into play. The Face Eraser, deal damage, make 44 random gems yellow. The Throat Cutter submission, 42 random sub gems, and the remaining turn into botch. So we're going to play with that. The Sunset Rider, deal damage, choose a 5x5 area into botch, which is also reversal if the opponent generates multiply gems. You steal the multiply gems and their turn. Well, actually, you turn the multiply into leech gems, but either way, yeah. So we've got Botchman written all over this so far. Back from the Dead, don't like this move, although it has absolutely beat me several times annoyingly. While being pinned, deal damage, kick out, make 30 random gems into leech gems, and then deal no damage and kick out. So this one is the triple yellow setup, and again, I've whiffed on destroying Liv once or twice, and then she just turns around and destroys me with that. I don't like it for my own setup, but that's what it is. The Spine Shatter Suplex, deal damage, choose one gem. We can buff that with trainers to make into 2-turn gems that will increase your red MP by 10, and then make 42 random botch gems into green gems at the end. You honestly don't need, because of what it does, to use Seth or Goldberg, but that's fine. 3x1 area to swap into red, and then the 10 paces in turn. Deal damage, increase your yellow gem damage by, let's bump this up. Oh, stays 131%. That's a random freaking number. It's a random number. All right, so I am going to look at the botch build in just a second. I'm not going to use the triple yellow, but I will use the other setup that we have used on this in the past before I get to the botch, which is the 10 paces in turn, increase your yellow gem damage by 131%, make 44 random gems yellow, and a 3x1 area into red. So what we need on this is your trainers. So we got to get yellow and then yellow gem damage as the focus. Then we're going to put on the break red, get yellow plate, and just run this as best we can. Go from there. Of course not. Of course not. All right, so we need Kofi, and then yellow plus yellow gems. My kingdom for an entourage filter. All right, so we want yellow gem damage. We also need the bite to start loaded, so the red gems starting with So red and yellow. We want red MP, yellow gems. And I know it's in here. That's the opposite of what I want right there. Red MP, yellow gems. Red MP, yellow gems. You can also use these guys, but I think the red one's super rare. Silence, purple, yellow, green. Anybody in the chat, if you want to use Relmira for me real quick, who is red MP, yellow gems? Red moves start with 1, yellow... Oh, dang it. Red moves, red gems. Yellow moves, red moves. Charlotte. Thank you, Slim. Let's find us a Charlotte here real quick. ¿Dónde está Charlotte? Charlotte está en el baño. Red moves, yellow gems. There it is. All right, so now we just want yellow on yellow on yellow on yellow on yellow as much as we possibly can. Yellow gem damage. So we want Austin, which is new since last time I used her. There we go. That's 40%. And then... there's lots of just yellow 30s. Zombie CM Punk's going to be the yellow 40, so I could put him on there if I need to. Could also use Santa Hogan. Bret Hart's the one I'm looking for, though, because he's 35%. I must have missed him. Well, whatever. Non-zombie Bret Hart, that's 35%, is the next best one to go with. But at this point, if I see... I'll just use Zombie Sammy for right now. Just know that the best there never was Bret Hart is the one to actually use there. All right, so we've got this set up. Now, the only thing we need on the strap is to get the break red, get yellow. Was thinking about creating a faction with... do you have any advice? Yeah, Mikey Z. I can talk about that. Let me finish this video because there's a lot involved in that question right there. Just remind me when I'm done. So we need break red, get yellow, which is this one right here, the general's orders. Boop. And then we're going to want the yellow rumble. This is the thing that is different this time around more than anything because... Yeah, we're going to run the botch build, but this is a different setup right here. All right, so let's go in. We're going to face against Jade Cargill. The big bad thing with Jade Cargill is she subs us if we get going. Yeah, we could use Muda as well, Crazy Snake. That's no problem. That's no problem at all. All right, so... what we're going to do is we're going to make a 3x1 area into red gems. You want to make sure you're putting it somewhere where you're not going to cascade, not going to match anything as much as possible, which is then going to buff this move. So now we're getting 131% buff on our yellow gems, and our red has reloaded itself. So we're going to do that again, which will load itself again. We just have to make sure we don't cascade. If we cascade, we're going to have problems. So you get one more shot right here. As long as we don't cascade, we're going to buff us 200. Ah, dang it. This is why I don't like Charlotte. Would have been 260% is where we would have been. I wish Charlotte had if she had a sub block, I would absolutely love her, but she does not. So we're going to try again. But this is why I have not liked her as much as I should in the past, because you got to do this just right to make it work. Anyway. All right. Let's go in and manage real quick. 6 MP, 7 MP, so 4, 5. So if we use Santa Hogan right here, actually, this is going to go better for us because we'll get one more charge out of her, which is better than the 30 or 40%. All right, let's try this again. Welcome back, Mikey Z. All you missed was me cascading, because this is the fatal flaw to this character, and at least in this specific moveset, is you have to do it just right. If you cascade, you're screwed. Okay, so with Santa Hogan, we get the extra 131% on here right up front. So it does protect us, shelter us just a hair bit. Now we go in here. I'm going to drop this once, which will reload us. No cascade. Drop it twice, which will reload the buff. No cascades. Sweet. All right, so now we've got the 260%. And we've left enough room to not have to worry. You could run it the way I just did, and you do get the buff potentially one more time, but you risk everything doing it that way. So our yellow gems are now doing about 1 million a piece, 800,000 right there. And we're going to drop 44 of them. So we're going to break the whole board. Then we're going to drop another set with the Royal Rumble plate, the yellow Rumble plate. So let's see if this gives her a big enough bop to be worth the risk on that. There we go. There we go. There we go. 83 million with the Rumble plate. Excuse me. Allergies are kicking up in the fall. All right. So that was her yellow build. Without the Rumble plate, does about 65-ish million, which with no hype, that's not bad. My modern thinking is if they don't do 100 million, I pulled a Merrick's. I appreciate that. I'll tell him that you said that. All right, so now we're gonna do the botch gem build. So let's look at this. 3x1 to red. Yeah, so it's triple red. 5x5 area to make into botch. Yep. All right. So triple red is going to be our botch gem build. There's another way you can do it with the sub here, but yeah, then you're using Roxanne. Whereas this way, I'm going to try and get it to where I can hopefully get this to go off twice and buff the botch plate, the botchman plate twice. That's the goal. We'll see if I can actually make that happen. And then you reverse multiply gems. You do bonus damage, but it's only 100k for every botch gem. So that one right there is not the goal, actually. The goal would be to do this one. Make 42 botch gems green. Maybe. I think I actually want to go with the yellow again. Keep the red. Make yellow plate, because we need that to go. We're going to try and bop that twice, and then we're going to bop those. Okay, perfect. So this is all we need to get this started. But we want red and botch here. Is there anybody who gives us red and botch? You know what? This is a use Relmira here. So this is botch. Okay, let's see. Andrade. This is Relmira. You can't see the whole thing, but it's amazing. Whoever made this is amazing here. All right, black moves in botch. Botch and green. Green moves in botch. Botch moves and generate botch. Botch, destroy botch. Moves that generate botch. Botch and black. Well, see, this is good to know. There's not a botch and red person. So I would have been looking endlessly, and there isn't one. So there we go. Sweet. Good to know. So what I want then is just red move charge, and then I'm going to try and buff the thing twice. So Butch would be fine. Oh, there we go. My favorite of the trainers. All right, so with that, that gives me 8. So this move starts loaded. This is still the right call because it gets this move loaded and this move loaded now. So then we want botch gem damage. We don't need Santa Hogan. Gem damage. And let me go back to Romero. Who's our botch coach? So we've got Becky 2 belts for botch and green. Back in business Bex. Look at that. I love Relmira. So now I'm just looking for back in business Bex. Which, by the way, I love that Becky Lynch in this game. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, knowing who does the thing is still, you have to scroll. There she is. Botch gems do 100% more damage. Sweet. All right. So now we need the same plate for that, and we could use this one, but instead we want the Big Botch Man Ultimate Plate. Whenever you make botch gems, increase your botch gems, or all color gems, by 300%. I don't know why the Botch Man isn't 500% like the rest of those, but it is what it is. All right, let's do this. I would love for Zombie Liv to be better. I would like her. I mean, 80 million's not bad. It's not bad. It's just... Anyway. All right. So I don't actually have a good spot to put this where I'm not going to cascade because I've got that, and that in the way. That's going to be fine. I don't like it, though. Woof. Buzz your girlfriend. Woof. All right. So now we're buffing all of our gems. There we go. Do this again. Now I can... No, because that stinking purple right there. I normally am very good at just hitting the top row. I don't like this. Okay, so now our yellow is loaded. I get one more shot. I don't think I can actually break this twice, can I? What did I just hit? What was that? Did I actually just hit that move? That was stupid of me. All right, so good. We're going to win because of the botch gems. I swear I didn't hit the move that put out yellows, did I? I swear I didn't, but if I did, phooey on me. But I do need Santa Hogan to have it loaded without a line bonus. So we are going to replace him with Santa Hogan. But if you had a line bonus, you'd be fine. So she'll hit harder than this, is what I'm saying. But we're going to try this anyway. Okay. This time around, we're going to throw down our botch gems right away. So not only does that buff our, red color, even though we're not doing a whole lot of gems. And I did. I was the one. I hit yellow. So that was on me. I will be more careful this time. That's my best spot to hopefully not cascade. There we go. Just remember, hit red, hit red, hit red. Don't hit yellow. Right there. One more time. And as long as I don't cascade, this is going to work. But as you can see, it's a lot of clicks. All right, sweet. It worked. So now we're going to throw our botch gems in the top corners so that we overlap as much as we possibly can. Our yellow gems are the focus, so those ones are doing 400k. So that's not actually that much. I don't think this is going to give us what we want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Did make the whole board, so that's nice. Broke all those botch gems. Yeah, 24 million. Never mind. So the first moveset's still the best moveset. You can get a decent hit, 70 million, give or take, without the yellow Royal Rumble plate, 80 to 90 with the yellow Royal Rumble plate. But the amount of clicks it takes to make it happen is just way too much for me. And the botch gem build is just not there. We could run the green, but I get the sense we're going to still have an issue because we're only buffing it once that way. You're turning them green, which is her tertiary color, instead of her secondary color. So I just don't think it's there. Zombie Liv is not my favorite. She's functional. She does a decent job. Triple yellow or the first move set, the red, yellow, or red, yellow. You do have some leech gems, but they're on the back from the dead right there. So you're not going to use the leech plates to buff her because it's only randomly when you get it there. And the leech here is on a reversal on multi. So there's not a functional leech build that we can use after this. That's what I got for her. She's still in the camp for me. She's not bad, but I wouldn't say she's good. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Oh, and by the way, that was with this added on. I forgot about this. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this stupid thing right here, botch gems do 150% more damage. This moment is super rare, and that was with a 150% buff, and she still only did 25 million, jumping it twice. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Like the video, subscribe to Champions Chat, and send this to your friend or faction mates who's like, hey, I got Zombie Liv. Is she good? Here's my answer. See you on the next one. Bye.